mean, I can tell stories about how the lover of my husband tried to kill me.
Tea.
How the Jamaican government took away my marina.
Tea.
What else? I mean, I can't even remember right now.
How she traveled on a drugs boat too.
Oh yeah, then I was so broke that I basically went on a ship full of drugs to Florida.
Hey my lovelies, it's your girl Mel. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're here for the first time. So the other day I went live and I asked you guys if you would be interested in story times with my mom, and y'all all said yes, you would be excited to hear all her stories. And trust me, there are a lot of stories. So this is what we're up to right now. So I'm just going to introduce my mom right now, and then she will take it from there. So this is my mom, Sabina. And yeah, I'm just going to let her, you know, take it over from here. She's going to tell you a disclaimer, and then she'll just tell you how she got to Jamaica, and then, you know, we'll just have a series of story times coming on this channel, so please stay tuned for all of them.
Disclaimer: the stories that I'm going to tell in this series are my experience, my truth, and my point of view over the past 38 years that I have been in Jamaica, and it's in no way intended to slander any person, the culture of Jamaica, or the island as a whole.
So yes, for anyone who will, you know, be sensitive towards certain topics, none of these stories are there to bash anyone, to bash Jamaica, to bash, you know, the Jamaican people or their style or way of doing things. So it's just her truth. She's just telling her side of the story, and yeah, that's just it. No negativity behind it. It's just, you know, she having story times. It's
life.
Her real life experiences, and yeah, it is not intended to do any harm to anyone. Okay, so go ahead, Mom.
Hi, Mellows lovelies. I'm in Jamaica now since 38 years. I came here first in 1983. How it came all about? Well, I used to live, of course, in Germany before, in an old farmhouse with a group of other people. And one of our friends one day came to the house to visit, and then he mentioned that he wanted to go to Jamaica, where he had been before, on a project for his sociology studies. And when I heard that, suddenly something in my head made click, and I was like, wow, I want to go there with him. I want to explore Jamaica. I want to see it. The reason being that I was a huge reggae fan since from 77. And actually in 1980 we formed a reggae group called Iration with 2 Jamaican guys, and all the others were German. So we were literally the first reggae band in my hometown Bielefeld, and we enjoyed it very much. We had some gigs, and we were starting to be known in the area, and we had a real good time. So when this guy came in the house and actually wanted to go to Jamaica, it was like, I want to see where the reggae come from. So I sat down with him and I asked him, would you be willing to kind of give me a start in Jamaica. Like, he had been there before, and of course, I've never been. So I wanted him to give me a start.
So it's
And
just
he
like,
is like this professional, like this old professor type, you know. So he was like, I have to think about it. So I said, all right, think about it, because of course the package came me and my two sons. My two sons at the time were 2 and 4 years old. So for him it was a real unusual situation to even consider to travel with children. Well, after a week or so he came back and said, oh well, I thought about it and I think I would be okay with that. So I was like, yeah. And I went to my mommy and, mommy, I want to fly to Jamaica and I need some money.
how old were you at that
I
time?
was 27
Okay.
at the time. And well, and those 2 children. And the story was as well that before that, the relationship with my son's children broke and I lost my job as a teacher for German as a foreign language due to shortages, you know.
Your relationship with your children's father.
Yeah.
Okay. You just said your children, so I don't know.
Sorry. My children's father, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, so I was like in kind of a limbo at the time, not knowing how to continue, what to do, and I considered it would be a very good idea to get out of my then situation and maybe find some new perspectives. So we booked for the 23rd of January 1983. Was my very first time on an airplane, and it was fascinating. We went to East Berlin. At that time we still had East and West Germany. East Berlin, entered a Russian airplane and flew to Moscow,
Which is in Russia.
So in Moscow we had 12 hours waiting time. There was this huge airport which was very sterile and cold and barely any people in there. And so we were like, oh my god, 12 hours, okay.
Like
and then with 2 children. So they had this playroom we discovered in the airport. And I was like, yes, a playroom for the children, great. And there were some other people and families as well with children. So we kind of gathered into this playroom where this real Russian babushka was standing.
Babushka.
and supervising, and she was like, if any children took any toys out of the shelves, they had shelves with toys and a toy carpet, and she was like looking at them like so really stern, like, how dare you take a toy out of the shelf. So after about 10 minutes we looked at each other, all of the parents, and we was just saying, and we took our children and left out. So somehow past the other hours waiting time, and now that flight was interesting because from there we went to Luxembourg. So imagine, this is Germany, there's Russia, here's Luxembourg, then we went to Shannon in Ireland, then from Shannon we went to Iceland somewhere, I don't remember the place, then from there to Cuba, and then from Cuba to Jamaica.
What the people wanna see how the complicated fit travel back then? Now we have straight flights, but back then, how many stops is that? What? To Russia, Luxembourg,
Shannon, Iceland,
Cuba, then Jamaica.
6.
What the
Took
hell?
us 36 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So we finally landed in Kingston. And boy, did I have a jet lag.
Can't imagine.
I went out on the streets and I was walking and I was wobbling. You know, jet lag is when you are really feeling seasick or something. And I was like, oh my god. So we ended up in the office of the DED, which is the German Development Corporation. At that time, they have offices all over the world and helping people within the country with German funds and German medication and so on and so on. And my friend had some contacts there, so we ended up there and we could spend the first night in their building. Now, friends of mine in Germany had told me about Port Antonio. They said, oh, if you go to Jamaica, please, 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 go to Port Antonio. Forget Negril, forget Montego Bay, forget all these places, go to Port Antonio. And I said, all right, I will do that. So the next day, we took a bus. And then you have to imagine culture shock. You're coming from Germany, you're coming into this hustling and bustling town of Kingston.
Right.
So the parade at that time, where the buses, all the buses started, you have tons of people around you, everybody shouting and screaming, loud music, vendors, and then the buses every minute cars honk. Like in Germany, you're not allowed to honk your car to talk. So it was like, oh my God, where am I? It was like with my 2 little children and my little backpack. By the way, we had a backpack of 12.5 kilos for the 3 of us for 3 months to stay in Jamaica. That was all the luggage we had.
12.5 kilos, how many pounds?
About 25 pounds.
For 3 people?
For me, 2 children. I even had diapers in my backpack for my youngest son, for the 2-year-old. For 3 months, for us 3, 25 pounds, 1 backpack. That's how we traveled.
We could never.
Oh, and one more thing too. I was crazy enough not to book any hotel or guest house or anything. I came to Jamaica like that.
Should I say, Chuff, me I gotta reach there and just,
and
if I
see it from there.
You're crazy.
I am crazy. Everybody told me I was crazy, but I felt normal. And I wanted to do it. I didn't want to go. First of all, I wouldn't have the money to go in a hotel. Come on, with 2 little children, hotel? Are you kidding? I had at the time, I can tell you too, I had a budget of 1,200 German mark, which nowadays would be about 500 US for 3 months for the 3 of us. But at that time, of course, the money was a little bit higher because when I came to Jamaica, 1 US dollar equaled 1 Jamaican dollar.
Oh.
Now we are at 1 to 145, so huge difference. Yeah, 1 red stripe at the time cost $3.50 Jamaican.
Damn. I know them up here what? $350.
Yeah, 100 times more.
That's
crazy. Anyhow, so where was I? With the bus, right?
Yeah, that you got a culture shock.
Oh, the culture shock. Yeah. Then we went in the bus, which was actually a very interesting way to travel at the time because, first of all, Jamaican buses are up to this day over full.
Rum-pack.
Rum-pack. I mean, I had 1 child on my knees, 1 beside me, Money, the friend that wanted to help me in the beginning, right beside me, and around us people, some even standing in the bus. So for me it was like, what?
In Germany, like if you go on a bus, like,
well, you know, America or Canada,
or yeah,
your seats and that's it.
Yeah, like there's not much standing in the bus. Yeah, sometimes like if it's like really packed, but that hardly happens.
And in Jamaica, some of them hang out of the door and drive. And I'm not saying from one station to the next, but from Kingston to Port Antonio, 100 kilometers.
Yeah.
Or what is it, 60 miles. So we were sitting in this cramped bus and driving, and I had no idea how far Port Antonio from Kingston was. So we were driving and driving. It was interesting because I could see the landscape, everything new, everything interesting. But then we landed in Anoto Bay and I thought, wow, we are here. Nope, was halfway. And I was like, oh my god, another one like that? Took us about 1.5 hours already to reach there. So from Anoto Bay, then finally we reached Port Antonio. And from the people in Kingston, we got a letter for a dentist in Port Antonio, a German dentist. And when we landed there, we went to the house, which was quite in the center of the town, and delivered that letter. And then he said, okay, if you want, you can spend 2 or 3 nights in my house, no problem. And we said yes, but at least we have the first 2 or 3 nights covered. It was raining cats and dogs. With now, I told you already, I only had the 25 pounds of luggage with me, which means all we had a limited amount of clothes. And my 2 children, 2 boys, and you know boys love to get dirty. So I had to start wash their clothes immediately. Only with the humidity in the air, they wouldn't dry. So I had 2 little boys, me, in the rain with wet clothes because they wouldn't dry. That was rough. Trust me. Okay, so I was like sitting in this completely strange country, miserable because we didn't even have clothes to wear, or only dirty clothes because I kept 1 set now, learning that they wouldn't dry. Kept 1 set, no matter how dirty they were, for the boys. So, and then we only had 2 or 3 days to stay with the dentist. In the meantime, we had met some people from Austria that were looking for a place to stay as well. And we decided, how can we find I don't like the word cheap, but well, how would you call it? An affordable place for us. So we decided to go to the Jamaican tourist board because we figured if anybody knows where to find something like that, it would be there. So we entered the office and there was this very, very nice older lady responsible there, and there was this a guy sitting in one corner and listening into our conversation with the lady from the tourist board. And suddenly he said, oh, hi, my name is Roger, and I have a house up the hill there and I have 2 rooms. If you want to rent them, you can get them. And we said, oh, wow, that sounds good. The price was reasonable. So we decided, yes, we are going to give it a try. So he had a car with him. He put us a little pickup. He put us all in the back of the pickup, drove up the hill to his house, which turned out to be very nice, with a huge 11-acre grounds and a fantastic view of Port Antonio and the sea. I mean, it was just a killer. And the rooms were okay too, so we decided, yes, thank you for renting that to us. So we spent the first evening eating and cooking because we could cook there as well and stuff. So we were all around the big table. He joined us. We started to talk and laugh and tell stories. And well, that was how I met my husband. And that's the end of this story.
So that's how Mom you know, made her way to Jamaica. So in short format, she was in a reggae group in Germany. She, you know, loved reggae. She was a background singer for that reggae group. And then she had a friend that was coming to Jamaica to, you know, for his for a project, exactly. And she heard that and just said, hey, I love reggae. Reggae is from Jamaica, so it would make sense that I go to Jamaica and, you know, check it out, see how it is. And she planned to come here for 3 months. And yeah, you know the rest of the story already, how the trip was and everything like that. So that's how she made her way from Germany to Jamaica.
In 1983.
In 1983. I wasn't even a thought then. I was far from being a thought.
Yep.
So yeah, that's how she got to Jamaica. So yeah guys, that was it for how she made it to Jamaica. You know, a lot of stories will be coming in the future. A lot. Let's just give them some topics, like,
oh
so they
my
can
god
know.
Well, the problem is that most of the time when things are memorable, they might not always be positive. Because I mean, if your life is going smooth and nice, you might not really remember it. So a lot of the stories I might have to tell are a little bit negative in the sense that, or adventurous in the sense that just through the way they happen, it's
stuck by you.
It's stuck. So I mean, I can tell stories about how the lover of my husband tried to kill me. How the Jamaican government took away my marina. What else? I mean, I can't even remember right now.
How she traveled on a drugs boat too.
Oh yeah, then I was so broke that I basically went on a ship full of drugs to Florida in order to make a little money. 6 months pregnant at the time. I can't.
How she went to Port Antonio jail for.
Oh yeah, they put me in jail for some drugs they found in my then marina.
Which wasn't hers.
It was mine, but I had to go to jail because it was my marina. And then I spent a night in the cell with a murderer and a thief.
Okay, cut it there. Can't give it too much, you know.
Anyhow. Stories like that, but some nice stories as well, like funny stories. I used to have a marina, and what happened in there, because the marina itself was like a soap opera, a daily soap opera. So a lot of stories to tell. You will see.
Yeah. So guys, if you're interested in hearing all those stories, we'll definitely, keep you guys posted. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do it as yet. Maybe it's going to be a story per week, or if it goes well, we could even try and do 2 stories per week. But yeah.
Well, then the question would be, do you want the things in chronological order or just by stories? That's the question.
Okay guys, so is it that you want it to be like in a timeline, or is it just you want random stories thrown out there? So comment that down below and we will see how we can do it best. And yeah guys, this is going to be the series with my mama bear. So just stay tuned. Comment if you have any questions at any time in the video for any of the stories, just comment down below, and then we could probably always do a follow-up video just answering your questions and clearing things up if it wasn't clear enough to you guys. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next story time with mommy.
Bye.
So bye.